Why did you have to go? Welcome to the MWM Project, the show that brings you the latest in all movies, television, video games. My name is Riley, that is Nick, and as you can see, we are missing a man here. Ethan is dealing with some really important stuff, stuff that will directly affect his future, so this is really big for him. Head over to Twitter, at Ethan Spickler. Send him some good luck, because this is pretty big deal for him. He should be back next week, though.
I hope so.
We're going to push through, though. Today's a little bit shorter for that reason, but hey, let's go ahead. First topic of the day, Transformers. Hey, who here likes Transformers? Nobody. All two of us hate it. No. The first Transformers is okay. But that's not the topic of the day. So, Michael Bay, we've all know. He's the one taking over the franchise. He's been doing it from the beginning. Likes explosions. But he was recently asked if he'd want to do more Transformer movies in the future. And he said that he'd want to do at least one more. Okay? Which we'd expect.
All right, so there's one more Transformers film.
Yeah, okay.
Guaranteed.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, but there's a catch. He also revealed that there are already 14 stories for Transformers ready to go, but he only wants to do one, at least one.
Who do you think you are?
Who do you think?
Transformers, who do you think you are?
14 stories ready to go. That's a lot. Okay, I'm glad that he is well aware that they're not going to do all 14. If he would have came up and been like, "We got 14 scripts ready to go, we're pushing them all out and making it happen," kind of like, I don't know, Texas Massacre actually is doing that, saying they have 7 sequels coming.
Yeah,
that's scary. So I'm glad they didn't do that. But you know, one of the main jokes going around is that they probably wrote them all in 14 minutes. How shitty they are.
All 14 in 14 minutes. Why would you want to say this? Put that out there. Two,
you're obviously not putting a lot of creative thought into them if you're doing that.
Yeah, and two, why? Why would you want that out there? Like Transformers, I can agree. The first one, good.
Yeah, solid.
It really just has gone downhill, and now it's just sequel money at this point.
Yeah, for sure. Like they're your basic Michael Bay films, over the top explosions and whatnot. But like after the first one, like the story, it all just becomes a bit of a mess. Nobody liked Megan Fox, so that made things go down. So they got rid of her, and then it's just series has become a mess. And now even with Shia gone, and so not that, I mean, I love Marky Mark, but still, I don't know what he must be getting a lot of money for that
reason. I believe Ethan is a fan of more of the movies.
Yeah, well, Ethan really likes the first one, but yeah, he's the same way. He's able to watch them more than we are, for sure.
But he can agree that they're not
good. They're not good movies, but they are entertaining.
Yes.
Yeah. So you know, some clarification behind this: the fact that there are 14 stories. Okay, this doesn't mean that they have 14 screenplays written out, 100 pages each. It means they threw down some random nonsense, and Michael Bay decided to say they have 14 stories.
As far as we know, it could be 14 pen on napkin, jot down.
Yeah, exactly.
But it is really interesting. Like they already ran out of ideas. And now there's 14 more stories to go.
Yeah, and he says they're really good. He says that they all are very unique in their own way. And he says that there's Easter eggs that you've seen in the other films that relate to the stories.
I'm calling his bluff.
Yeah, me too. He's got one idea. We're doing one film, and we're going to let the series go. Yeah, so really, it's not it's not the greatest news in the world for Transformers. Maybe if you're a fanboy of Transformers, this is probably fantastic for you. You could see 14 more. We're not seeing 14 more films.
No way.
Yeah, no way. But hey, with that news, you do know there's at least one. So, hey, Transformers, one more to go. Here we go.
Yay.
Yeah, that's your Transformers news. Let's go ahead and move on to 5 and 5. All right, Nick, start that timer. First things first, in 5 and 5, Netflix has officially gotten rid of the rating system, the star rating system, okay? And you want to know why? Because all the Netflix original series not that they're all bad, but the bad ones, like, are really bad, and they keep getting really, like...
I think it's mainly because the new Amy Schumer comedy special literally had like half a star. Netflix boosted their ratings like they always do, and every single person voted it down. It was not good, and you know, then they were like, oh, we can't actually show how bad this is. So now it's a thumbs up, thumbs down to recommendations.
Yeah.
So it's not like this film has a 98% thumbs up. It's 98% recommended for you.
So it's not a YouTube like to dislike. It's just literally so they can alter your recommendations for future films.
Right.
So that sucks. I mean, so now you don't know what's good and bad.
Exactly.
It's really just to protect them.
Right.
All right, next. Fast and Furious would only go to space for a so good idea. Hold on.
I can't facepalm any harder.
So, I don't understand where they're going with this idea at all. Listen, let's look at some films that have gone to space that haven't worked. For some reason, only one's coming to my head, but it's because it's so bad. And it's Jason X. Jason X went to space and actually had a decent story to go to space. Where? How? No. What?
There was a comment on Reddit that said, "Reminder that this series started out with a movie about a cop trying to stop some thieves from stealing DVD players." Now we're going to space?
Oh my God. That's just crazy to even thinking about that is insane.
I mean, hey, maybe they just need to get people talking before the new movie comes out, because that's ridiculous. That is a ridiculous statement to make.
Yeah, there's no way.
No.
They're not that dumb. The series all around is over the top, but they're not that dumb.
Right.
Okay. All right. Next, Marvel, The Defenders teaser. It was put on Twitter today. And, it's only 16 seconds, but it's enough to just get you slightly excited.
Right. You see Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, and Daredevil all in an elevator, and they're all waiting. The elevator music's playing, typical Marvel teaser, and then Jessica Jones notices the camera and punches it out.
Yep.
Now the time on the camera stops at
8/18/2017.
Right.
So there's your release, August 18th. We will get to see the Defenders.
We talked about it before. Marvel series, Defenders looks very good so far.
Yeah, not bad. Cool little intro, good little teaser. That's solid. Good for them.
That's what we needed.
Short and sweet. All right, next. Star Wars Celebration starts tomorrow, which would be Thursday. Now, we will give more details on this on next week's episode when we will break the hell out of this.
Right.
So there's going to be a lot of news being dropped for sure.
For sure, there's going to be Star Wars Battlefront 2 information released this weekend.
Yeah.
Which...
I mean, we know a lot of stuff is going to happen. We're getting more details on Han Solo films. We're going to get the more detail on Obi-Wan film that's coming up. Right. Battlefront. Just so much. And we're 90% sure that we're going to have a dedicated episode of this. Not sure yet. But there's so much going to be dropped on us, and it's going to be super exciting.
If only, we had the money, had the time, we would go.
Absolutely.
Hayden Christensen is going to be there.
Yeah, who wouldn't
You know what? You know how they got him? They promised there wouldn't be any sand.
But it feels so rough.
Exactly. That's why they promised there wouldn't be any sand, so he would not.
Next at 5 and 5, Don Rickles has passed away. Now this is really sad, ultimately. So rest in peace, my good friend. But what comes with this, when it comes to the cinematic world here, is that he has not recorded his role for Toy Story 4 yet. So we're gonna see. It appears that we're going to get a replacement voice actor.
They did say they're going to try their best. They're still tweaking storylines. Try their best to use some old footage, old voice tracks to try to fill as much as possible.
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, I mean, it's a iconic voice. He was a legendary comedian, known for heckling and insulting, and he was a great Mr. Potato Head.
Mr. Potato Head.
But he was 90.
Yeah.
Lived a great life.
Yeah. So I mean, it is better. Oh man, this sucks. This sucks. It's on road. This is a tough one. But like, ultimately, if they had to replace him, that happens. But hey, rest in peace, Don Rickles. We're going to go ahead and move on to our video game portion of the podcast, and today is an interesting one because it relates to movies as well, and it relates to Call of Duty. So things we love to rant about, combining. What does that mean for us? Activision is now elaborating on a Marvel-style Call of Duty movie universe.
Again,
my goodness.
Facepalm episode right now. Wow. So Activision Blizzard Studios is planning a Marvel-style Call of Duty film universe. The Hateful Eight producer Stacey Sher talked to Guardian about their aims for their game franchise as it transitions to the silver screen. Quote, "We have plotted out many years. There will be film that feels more like Black Ops, the story behind the story. The Modern Warfare series looks at what it's like to fight a war with the eyes of the world on you. And then maybe something that's more of a hybrid, where you are looking at private, covert operations while a public operation is going on." Okay, okay.
I see how it... We'll just continue.
It works in theory.
Yeah, I guess.
They're also looking at a TV series focused on the historical conflicts such as World War II and Vietnam, which is how the Call of Duty franchise started, again mirroring Marvel's 4 series on Netflix, Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist. Okay, that's the information for you.
This is a lot to take in general. Now, it's been discussed, like they said, for years and years. So they've discussed putting Call of Duty to screen, right?
At least 3 years or 4 years.
Yeah, I mean, and even amongst fans, it's been discussed. Now, while the Call of Duty genre of war works on screen, okay, but something about Call of Duty we talk about DC trying to replicate what is Marvel, okay, taking their formula and trying to make it their own thing, and it doesn't work, make your own formula. The fact that Call of Duty and Activision are trying to take the Marvel formula and apply it to their own thing, it doesn't seem very unique, and I don't see it working nearly as well.
Well, okay. At least with these games, you do have a concrete story behind it already, which is what some video game turned to movies fail to produce, I guess.
Yeah.
So you already got this core story. They can look at the fan theories, see what everybody wants to see. Mm-hmm. Will it work? No, I don't think that they can make it work.
I think some of them might score. I seriously, I think what would be interesting. I think Black Ops is interesting. I think the story behind Black Ops and private investigations and, that type of thing is interesting. Sort of like House of Cards to a degree.
Right.
But I don't know. Modern Warfare doesn't seem to work to me. And if they're trying to apply every game they've had, I don't know.
Infinite Warfare?
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, will they jump into that future area and try doing, exosuits and whatnot, Advanced Warfare and... Yeah, there's a lot of questioning there. That seems like something they could do with a TV series.
Or even just a web series, callofduty.com/whatever. If they made it a web series, maybe, 40-minute episode, maybe 5 40-minute episodes based on, Black Ops story, that could work. But when you're looking at a whole universe, they literally are, calling it a Marvel-style movie universe, and you can't just copy and paste.
Yeah, that's the big thing to me. Is you can't just take something else and hope it works just as well for you. And also, something that's so great about the Marvel universe is how it's developed from individual characters to individual characters, and how everything relates to one another. Now, how are you going to do that in the Call of Duty genre? I don't understand how that's really possible. How are you going to relate? I mean, Black Ops should somehow relate to Modern Warfare, right? And if you're doing different films or different characters, Ghost, the character of Ghost and whatnot, are you going to do something separate for him and somehow have Easter eggs relating to other films? Are they really how hardcore are they developing into that Marvel style universe?
Exactly. Now, another point is they can throw some crap together and they can put it out there. People are going to buy in. It's going to make money. Call of Duty is still one of the top selling video games franchises.
Doesn't
every
make
year.
Any sense.
Every year. If they throw a movie or even a DVD, I bet you get people buying it enough to keep going on with another film or another episode, if you want to call it like that.
Yeah. I love Call of Duty, and I mean, while some of the last few years have been a bit of a mess when it comes to the future and whatnot, the franchise itself has always been beloved by us, something that we've been. I mean, we're just off screen right now is that Juggernog fridge that you saw a couple episodes ago. Like the franchise is beloved by us. But I just don't see why this is necessary. It seems like if they really are interested in making a cinematic universe, it's the Call of Duty name that's messing with me. I'm totally in for war films and war series and something that covers Black Ops, filled area. Like that's cool stuff.
Right.
But something about the Call of Duty name on there, I don't know why that it just doesn't seem, because you're just combining so many stories and. I don't know. If you don't live up to the campaigns that the games have produced so far, you're gonna be destroyed by fans. If it's not original, if something we've already seen before, if you were literally just copying the campaign we've already seen, what the hell is the point?
Exactly. It's playing with fire no matter what you do. Again, I'd like to see it done well. If they do it and do it well, I'll applaud them. I just don't see how they can take their video game stories and apply them to a whole universe.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'd like to see it done well. I totally agree. I'm not against what it is. I'm not against Call of Duty. I'm still supporting when Call of Duty World War II comes out. Still gonna be supporting the game then. Like I support the franchise. Just it makes me really nervous. I just don't want to see, they're already playing with fire in this franchise in general because of how much they've failed recently. And so to jump into a cinematic universe where it's going to be really hazy. And if they mess up here, will that ruin what is their game portion of the company?
Exactly.
Probably not, but still.
I mean, already, little side note, but like if this Call of Duty this year, World War II, fails, I do think it'll be the end of the Call of Duty series. It's going to make money, but people are now realizing, like Infinite Warfare, not a lot of people bought Infinite Warfare. Now they did buy, the special edition for maybe Modern Warfare. But even sales for Advanced Warfare were down. Mm-hmm. So if World War II is a flop, this might be the end of Call of Duty. Are they trying to, make some money with this side little project
still having
to keep the company, the brand Call of Duty alive? If so, that's shitty.
Yeah.
Don't do that to us.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, especially if the game dies and they move forward with the movies, they're not going to be as good.
Right.
The budget's going to go down tremendously. I will say what makes me happy right now about it is the fact that Stacey Sher is on board. And, I mean, she's worked tight with Quentin Tarantino in the past, so that's good news for the series in general. But, yeah, it still makes me really nervous, and the future Call of Duty is it's on the break here. Like
you got to hope that the new game World War II, if it's not even 100% confirmed, if that better revitalize everything.
Yeah.
You better go back, figure out what we want, and put it out there. And that game could make or break the future of Call of Duty.
Yeah. I mean, is the series dead in general? Are we just tired of the FPS, those types of games? I mean, is there anything they can do to really revamp the franchise, no matter what? World War II is a great start. That's a place to put it if you really want to get fans again. But is it dead anyway? Hey, man, let us know in the comments. What do you think about Call of Duty? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you think it's dead? Is there any revive? What do you think about the cinematic universe? Do you think it's as dumb as we do? That's the question.
Again, if it's done well, we'll applaud it, and we'll probably like it if it's done well. Mm-hmm. But we just don't see how it can be done.
True. Hey, there's your movie, cinema, television, all the good video game news. Everything you wanted to hear. Thank you guys so much for watching. Editor, roll that outro. Thanks for watching this episode of the MWM Project. Click that box right there to check out last week's episode.
And make sure you check out our other podcast, Slash and Cast, which covers all horror news by clicking that box right down there.
Go ahead and hit that subscribe circle right there and never miss another episode.
With all that being said, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.